Hi guys, so today we are going to see about what are trade wars. Myself Bhavesh from CSBS department from Rajalakshmi Institute of Technology. So now let's get into the topic. A trade war is basically an economic conflict between two countries characterized by escalating tariffs or trade barriers. Now to understand this better, let's take an example. Consider an example with two countries, country A and country B. Both countries produce a smartphone, but due to differing resource availability, country B can produce their smartphone at a lower cost than country A. As a result, the price of the smartphone is lower in country B. If country B exports its smartphone to country A, the lower price of the smartphone from country B can negatively impact producers in country A because they cannot compete with the lower price. To protect its domestic producers, country A may impose tariffs on imports from country B. A tariff is essentially a tax on imported goods that makes them more expensive. In response, country B may retaliate by imposing tariffs on goods imported from country A. This back and forth escalation of tariffs between the two countries is what constitutes a trade war. In summary, a trade war involves countries imposing tariffs on each other's goods in an attempt to protect their own economies or retaliate against unfair trade practices. Now let's see some historical context. Throughout history, numerous number of trade wars has been recorded. These are some trade wars. I would like to highlight Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act or 1930 Tariff Act and US-China trade tensions. The Tariff Act was enacted to protect US farmers from foreign competition by increasing tariffs on certain goods. It was also proposed to offer protections to other industries from foreign competitors. The Smoot-Hawley Act increased tariffs on foreign imports to US by 20%. At least 25 countries responded by increasing their own tariffs on American goods. Now let's see about the 2018 US-China trade war. It began when the US imposed tariffs on Chinese goods, citing unfair trade practices and intellectual property theft. China retaliated by placing tariffs on American imports. This tit-for-tat escalation affected hundreds of billions of dollars in goods, disrupting global supply chains. Both countries saw significant economic impacts with the increased costs for business and consumers. The tension led to prolonged negotiations, resulting in a partial Phase 1 trade agreement in early 2020. Now let's see some impacts of global economics due to trade wars. Supply chain disruptions. Trade wars cause delays and increased costs in global supply chains as tariffs can make importing materials and products more expensive and complicated. Inflation pressure. Higher tariffs raise the cost of goods, leading to inflation as companies pass these costs on to consumers. Long-term growth effects. Trade wars can stifle economic growth by reducing investment and causing uncertainty in global markets. Geopolitical tensions. Trade conflicts escalate geopolitical tensions, straining diplomatic relationships and leading to broader international rivalries. Now let's see some strategies for managing trade tensions. Diversifying supply chains. Businesses can mitigate trade tensions by sourcing from multiple countries to reduce dependency on any one market and minimize tariff impacts. Engaging in diplomatic dialogue. Countries can manage trade disputes by negotiating agreements and using diplomatic channels to de escalate tensions and find common ground. Leveraging technology. Using advanced technologies like automation and AI can help companies reduce production costs and adapt to changing trade policies more effectively. Building alliances. Forming trade alliances with other nations can strengthen economic ties, create leverage in negotiations, and reduce the impact of trade tensions with a single country.